The Bloodline come out. Jay says his hand might be broken for real after War Games, and there are no cracks in the Bloodline. And Sami Zayn says that, Jimmy took him in from day one, and Jay, your embrace after War Games, that was Usi, and says that they are now on the same page. Jay gives him a big hug. Then they invite Jimmy, and then they want a group hug with Solo. This was the funniest thing on the show. And Solo just stares at them, and you don't know what he's going to do. And then Kevin Owens' music interrupts. This was great.
I love this. Yeah. I love that Solo didn't immediately rush to hug.
I did not want him to do it either.
Oh no, that's not the character. And it shows you that they actually have a lot of care for keeping Solo sort of like, important and like his individual rather than just kind of being another part of this. Like they're crafting individual identities and giving individual spotlight to every single member. And you can write sort of, this character trait about Solo Sikoa. He just, he's great. Sammy, I felt continued to like get into that real emotional kind of heart of his character here that makes him so incredibly likable. Like for weeks and weeks and weeks, he's really just kind of been funny, and that's why we love him. But now he's digging into like something that is just, respectable about him, and that's his incredible loyalty. And I think, I don't know, like, earnestness to just kind of feel a belonging as a part of this family.
Well, Owen says he understands why Sammy did what he did at War Games. Like, yeah, you guys were on opposite teams. He says, I've done the exact same thing to you in our career. I'm not mad, and our careers have been linked together for 20 years, but now I'm just done with you. I don't want to tag with you. I don't want to fight you. I don't want to have anything to do with you. I don't even want to ride with you. And there was this look on Zayn's face, and he just looked so sad at this realization. But then he says, well, I feel the same way, and I don't need you because I have my family now. And I mean, this to me is just the payoff to this down the road will be fantastic. Like this segment, I feel will be referenced many a time.
Totally.
And Owen says that he wants everyone to see how great Sammy is because I've known it for 20 years. And it doesn't matter how much they call you family. You're not their real blood and you never will be. So Jay says he's mad because you don't have any family around you. And if you have a problem with Sammy, you've got a problem with main event Jey Uso. So Owen says, I might be done with Sammy, but I'm not done with you, Jay, and I'll kick your ass any day of the week. And we set up the match for later on in the show.
Great segment. Lives up to, I think, the very high standards this entire cast has been setting on these shows. I love that, like, for the most part, like almost all the segments involving them, none of them feel like they're throwaway and none of them feel like they're insignificant. And it's not just because they're very well performed. The content kind of leaves you with a significant development in the storyline every single time. Here, you got the continued bonding of Sammy with the Bloodline and specifically Jey Uso. We got to see what a happy, non-pissed off Jey Uso finally looks like. There's harmony within the group. Everybody is happy. Jay loves Sami Zayn. And then you get the further erosion of Sammy's relationship with Kevin Owens. I thought Owens sort of portrayal was really interesting here. He could have come out and just kind of played your stereotypical pissed off guy whose friend turned on him, came out here and just started attacking. Instead, he came out sort of calling out the hypocrisy of babyfaces who do that, especially if it was him, because he's turned on Sami Zayn so many times. But the direction that he takes in not wanting anything to do with Sammy is arguably way more hurtful than any sort of single attack would have been tonight. He hates you so much, he's not even going to talk to you anymore. Okay. And that in many ways is a lot more disappointing than, like a big beatdown or something.
Yeah. I mean, it really hits home the fact that they're on separate brands.
I don't think that matters at all.
They'll never see each other. How are they riding together?
I can't explain.
Okay. And the main event, Kevin Owens and Jey Uso, who went over 20 minutes. We had Zayn and Jimmy in the corner, and Kevin Owens, no family in his corner. After the break, Owens lands on the knees of Jay, attempting a swanton, and Jay works the back, hitting a backbreaker. And for the rest of this match, Owens is favoring his back. From there, he hits a fisherman buster, lands a frog splash, but then Jay attacks him with super kicks, can only get a 2 count. The Samoan drop and stunner both blocked, and then Owens catches a kick, landing his own super kick, and he goes for the pop-up powerbomb, but his back gives out, so Jay hits another super kick. Owens once again kicks out, and then Owens takes out Jimmy with a super kick. Sikoa trips Owens on the apron, which sets up Owens laying on the mat, and the Uso splash misses, allowing Owens to recover, stunner, and pins Jay in 20 minutes and 55 seconds. And this was one of those count 3, and within 30 seconds, we were off the air. They went right down to the buzzer here.
Yeah. This was a very well. I mean, that 1 hour of a commercial-free Raw. I don't know. Maybe that kind of screwed them over with timing, perhaps. But really excellent match. You know, it's the type of match that reminds you how, of course, very good Kevin Owens is, but how great Jey Uso is as a singles wrestler as well. I thought he was tremendous here. Great body part work from the both of them. Jay selling his hand, Owens selling his back. I thought Owens, you know, was a decent challenger for Reigns. Certainly, like maybe, I don't know, the most viable you could point to in a long time. But still, like, it was going to be really difficult for me to see him as that hot of a challenger, especially when we're so close to WrestleMania now. But I thought this match did really well in trying to elevate my excitement for Kevin Owens as a challenger. They made you believe that Owens is strong enough to take on the entire rest of the bloodline by himself. He beat Jey Uso here with everybody else ringside, and that leaves, you know, the pathway for him to challenge Roman Reigns. So, and it's a great direction, because now you continue the thread with Sami Zayn, where Sami Zayn might still be a little bit torn with his feelings for Kevin Owens while having to support his boss, of course.
Yeah, it's a lot of interesting ways of how you can weave in Owens and Zayn over the next little while, and the idea of those two at some point coming together. So I think they set up a lot between War Games and tonight with that great segment. I thought it was really strong stuff overall, involving what is your main storyline, regardless of Raw or SmackDown at this point.